real quick. I did try to record this video yesterday. I'm gonna do it again today. Apologies for the late drops, but gotta do what we gotta do. Knicks going to Indiana tonight. Trying to get back on this winning swing. Get a 2-game winning streak. Take care of the teams we're supposed to take care of, and so I want to, again, I don't, you know me, I don't need to do a video. I don't do videos, nor do I need to do videos after every win or loss. Not my style, and it's really not really part of any narratives I'm trying to get out there. Again, I try to take the temperature of the Knicks as needed. You know what I mean? So when it comes down to it, it's pretty damn simple, right? It's a pretty simple concept. The game against Utah, and I must preface this by saying, look, the Knicks are not good enough. They're not talented enough. They're not good enough. They don't play they play stupid basketball. So they're not good enough to just play do that, turn it on when they want to, show up and think they're going to win. And that game against Utah kind of proved that, where you saw it was just two different games in one game. One game where the Knicks got blown out, and in the second part of that game, they realized they were playing the Utah Jazz. Okay? Utah is going to be a fun team in a couple of years. They have a lot of young talent, but they're not a good basketball team at this point, right? The Knicks are a complete basketball team. But again, that game proved that the Knicks are not good enough to just show up and beat anybody. And somehow, this is kind of a problem, and this might be a worry for the playoffs, but I'm not that overly worried about it. Because, again, they were getting beat by 18 and won the game by 17. So it was a 35-point swing from probably mid to late in the, I think it was early, mid-second quarter, the Jazz got an 18-point lead. And again, the Jazz shouldn't be getting an 18-point lead on the New York Knicks. And it was one of them games where I didn't really want to watch the game, but I'm following the box score, and I'm like, the Jazz got a lead. I came in at 19-12. Okay, and I could just see what was going on. The Knicks were just not running hard. You know, again, this is the NBA. If you don't run hard up and down the court, now I'll get into that with the LeBron James stuff I'm going to talk about. I might want to do a live on it, because I really, like I said, man, I'm going to tell y'all again, this is not the channel for casuals. This is not the channel for D-Riders. This is not the channel for guys that just go along with conventional wisdom. I'm not a basketball expert. I am very narrative driven. I'm a history expert, and I understand and know and love and play the game. Okay? So there's things that I universally know that about basketball in the game itself that is just universal. You can't play half speed and think you're going to beat any NBA team, even the Brooklyn Nets. Okay? And this is what happens, and this is what I have against a team like Detroit. Because Detroit is going to get to the playoffs and realize there are no more Brooklyn Nets on the schedule. There are no more, everybody's going to be mid-level and up. And even right now, the Charlotte Hornets are looking like a team you just don't want to see. Okay? It's the same thing with whoever catches the Clippers who are now above 500, right? I said I'm calling them the Clippers now because they are above 500. But yeah, for a team that had James Harden for a big part of the season and had Kawhi Leonard, it was no excuse for them being under 500. I know they had other injuries. And now you traded away James Harden and Ivica Zubac. And now you're playing pretty good basketball. Amazing. Eureka how that works. Crazy how that works, right? Okay. It kind of confirmed. It's like a good news, bad news situation, right? But again, at the end of the day, I stay stoic. Again, this is Stoic Knicks fan number 4. I stay stoic because I know this is about the playoffs. Now, again, again, it's good news and bad news, right? The Knicks can beat anybody. The Knicks can be beaten by anybody. And this is the part where Knicks fans are gonna because again, the bad news is they are not good enough to just show up and win. Now, I think this team understands that come playoff time, they're gonna have to be on every night. They're gonna have to execute. See, the bad news is also they play stupid basketball. They play basketball, just nonsensical basketball, where even if you're not playing at full speed, like they were in that first half against Utah, they make dumb passes. They don't run back, they don't close out. These are the things that when we see playoff level competition can come back and bite us in the ass. Yet, again, a team like Detroit, who seem to save their best for the Knicks, save their best for teams that they've been gunning after. Well, again, when they get to the playoffs, they're gonna have to realize, they can't survive any 8-point night from Kate Cunningham in the playoffs. They can survive that in the regular season when playing teams like they played last night. I forget who. Another middling team. Now, that team, I think the team they played last night, if I'm not mistaken, is a playoff possibility team. But again, it gets so monotonous. Like, I'll talk about this in another video, but more in depth. But the fact that Wembanyama sits out with a minor heel injury to play against the Joker, this is the problem. Like, the thing you want to see, you don't get to see. And anytime you tune into one of these games, it's just a 3-point shootout. That's it. This is what's wrong with NBA basketball. Now, this is not me just being the old head hater. Like, it's really somebody put it. I forget who said this. I think it was Common Sense, where he said, shooting the 3-point shot. The 3-point when you have games basically centered around the 3-point shot. The 3-point shot is the most unpredictable or the most inconsistent shot, where you can be wide open and like you can go on shooting. Like, nobody misses like 10 straight layups. You can miss 10 straight open threes for whatever reason. Nobody misses 10 straight wide open layups. Matter of fact, you make, and see, the closer you are, the more consistent the shot is. This is why the lack of mid-range game, the way it's been legislated out of the game, has kind of ruined the game. Where, again, it's just everybody wants to shoot the 3, and if you make it, you're probably going to win. If you miss it, if you miss a bunch, you're probably going to lose, unless you do something like force a lot of turnovers, play. If a team is going to shoot hot and you're going to be cold, this is what happened in the Detroit game. The Knicks were uncharacteristically cold, but there's reason for it. Detroit was playing great defense, but Detroit was up for the game more than the Knicks. The Knicks were playing lazy. Oh, we got this team in the bag. We don't really fear Detroit like that. And we don't really feel the need to send them any messages. And that was kind of the story of those games. Again, this is not Kingsbury's Road making excuses. I'm basically telling you what I saw. So when Sino and them troll or bring me to the, it's like, bro, y'all really think y'all 30 points better than the Knicks overnight? Who did y'all get that made y'all 30 points better than the Knicks? What, Dennis Jenkins? Undrafted cat from St. John's? No disrespect. Good player. Kind of wish he was on the Knicks. But let's be real. See, like, this whole 83-point thing, man, it really got me for a loop. Because it's like, Well, even like in a perfect world, see if Bam Adebayo they'd have played that game out, Bam Adebayo probably get 65 to 70 something points, and that would have been fine. But they literally shot at Kobe and tried to, because he knew he wasn't scoring 100. But it's like, let's get and they did, the way they did it was so, for them clowns at Go James Kingdom to play the video last night and tell me that what Kobe did. No, Kobe was trying to set a record after beating. So Kobe would, yes, they were giving him the ball every time, the same way they did in his final game when he scored 60. We understand that. Kobe earned that. You could say Bam might have earned that. Bam was the only guy out there from the main, like, he's the only main scorer out. I think Colaware was out, Wiggins was out, and our Hero's out, right? So, you could say he earned the right to go for the 83. It's just the way they did it was just so Bush League. It was just so Bush League. Kobe was they were not fouling while up. They weren't fouling to get Kobe more possessions, guys. But anyway, again, this is about the Knicks. I veer up because it's just like, look, I'm over the season at this point, and this is sad. I never thought we'd get here, but it's like NBA basketball is just becoming like it really is no imagination to it now. It's the same. Look, it's the same with baseball and football. I watch like half of the Super Bowl. It's only football I watch all year. I'm lying. I did watch some Giants games. I did watch the Giants games when they choked in the fourth quarters. But as far as a full game, I didn't watch one full game. Baseball, I'm watching because these American sports are becoming so boring, and I hate to say this, bro. American professional sports, and I might have to really get to the point, right? Because right now we got March Madness going on, and that's really the most pure form of basketball you have left in the United States, where the rules are actually enforced, and even some of them, the officiating is horrible, but they do a decent job to enforce the rules. Problem is now with NIL and one and done, there's nobody to latch on to. It's only the teams that you love, and I'm a Duke fan. Okay, Duke is number one. Of course, I'm going to watch them try to win the sixth national championship. Okay? But American professional sports is just monotonous, man. And so, look, of course, I'm going to root for the Knicks hard. Pause. But I got, I'm going to say this. I got the feeling that the Knicks are going to win, right? I just think that a team, look, we're not going to show up and win. And if the Knicks are going to think that they, I know come playoff time, and I think that's what the Knicks are at this point, just bored from these regular season games. They don't feel like they have anything to prove to anybody. I feel like they feel like they've conquered everybody. So it's really like, especially individually, on an individual basis with, Jalen Brunson having the ankle issues off and on, right? Mitch Robinson having the ankle problem. Karl Anthony Towns getting knocked up, banged up all the time. The finger problems since last year, which clearly has affected his shooting touch. Mikal Bridges, another one, who, again, he's the Iron Man, right? But he's not a strong guy. So you're not gonna get in regular season games. You're not gonna get him going hard. You're not gonna get him being physical. He's not that type of player anyway. You understand what I'm saying? You're not gonna get these things from the Knicks, and again, OG Anunoby. So everybody is really, I think individually, no one is like really feeling like, oh my God, we gotta win these games. We gotta go on a 15-game winning. Look, the Knicks had their 9-game winning streak. Again, last 3 seasons, since the Josh Hart trade, the Knicks have had winning streaks of 8 or more. Okay? 10, I think 10 is the record for the franchise record. So we've tied, that fact alone makes me feel something, that the Knicks have basically almost either tied or almost broken the record for the biggest win streak in franchise history. Knicks have never won more than 10 games in a row in franchise history. And that fact alone makes me optimistic for what the Knicks can be. Again, I'm a little disappointed the Knicks didn't feel a need to dominate. But then, this is the thing. It's because of the individual injuries. It's because the monotony of the season. It's because guys are trying to get to 65 games so they can get maybe an accolade or two. It's this way it goes. And this is probably the problem with the 65 game rule. Yeah, you're gonna have guys playing half speed on these like random nights, because they're not going to try to twist an ankle, and potentially miss the playoffs, and potentially miss out. But more importantly to them, probably on an individual basis, on getting potential awards that can lead to bigger contracts, whether it be from the Knicks or anybody else. Look, Mitchell Robinson has already realized he's not gonna play 65 games. So the All-NBA defensive team for Mitch, but I think he's been an All-NBA defender this year. And he's coming off the bench, so that's already gonna hurt his market value. But I think Mitch understands where he's gonna make his money is if he shows up in these playoffs. Whether he comes off the bench or starts. If he shows up big money doing the offensive rebounding, doing the elite defensive impact that he has in the playoffs for a significant portion, he's gonna, he's gonna get paid, and I think he deserves it. Hope it's with the Knicks, all right? Because the Knicks are gonna have to find a real center, because I cannot go into another season, even if we make the Giannis trade, we're gonna have to get a center next to Giannis. I can live with Giannis being the main front court defender, and maybe get it, but we're gonna have to get a center. I don't know if it's Vucevic. I don't know who it is. The Knicks are gonna need a center. The Knicks are gonna need preferably a stretch 5 center, preferably a good rebounder. Okay, but I would love to have Mitch here. Even if whether we get Giannis or not, I would love to have Mitch as one of my centers going forward. Okay. So, again, this is kind of a housekeeping, because that's what I always do. I don't really belabor one point, right? It's kind of a housekeeping overview thing, and I make my videos when it's an overview. The Knicks are contenders. And I've said this. The Knicks don't have to show anything more than any other team. And right now, the Knicks are. See, the Knicks have to prove that they're a 60-win team to be contenders. No, we don't. Because to me, 2 out of 3 teams that probably have a good chance of winning 60 this year. And if you want to tell me, I think Boston has no chance. I think Boston has already lost their 23rd game. So 2 or 3 teams that have a decent chance of winning 60 games, that would be San Antonio, and San Antonio might be almost out of chances. So even the teams that have the high 50 win, 2 out of 3 I don't think are real contenders. I think they're a year away. San Antonio, this group has not played the playoffs. Fox, Cornette obviously who's won a ring, but Fox ain't a great shooter. I think that's just good. That's gonna hurt them. You know what I'm saying? I don't think these guys. I don't think those teams. So I say that to say just the win total does not mean anything. It really is the experience. It really is the game plan and what the amount of troops you got going in. That's not to say that San Antonio or Detroit can't win. I just don't think they will. I think they will get knocked off, to be honest. So, like I said, the Utah game proved a lot to me. Knicks are good as advertised. They just don't show it every night. All right, guys. Peace.